Good morning, or should I say afternoon? I just realized it's a little afternoon. Um, so I'm sure you saw my post yesterday about how entrepreneur mental health is so important to me. It's something that's super, super, super close to my heart. And I'm very passionate about, especially in this absolutely bananas time. So, the reason I bring this up is because in my post, I talked about the fact that my company page and my personal page are going to be places of fun and laughter, not to diminish anything that's happening, but to use laughter as a pattern interrupter and have the awesome, added physiological benefits of that. In addition, I'm going to try really hard not to give you a lot of things you should do, but rather questions you can ask yourself to um, help you find the answers that I think most of us already have, but you just may not be able to see because you're too close. And then, of course, posting uplifting, whether they're quotes, as you see on our page often, or funny jokes, or inspirational movies or books or whatever it may be, to help you make a choice to be proactive and not reactive. And even though things seem really uncertain and scary, and there's a lot of frenetic energy and emotions, hopefully give you a place where you can come and get your fix to, be inspired and think of creative ways to get through this for yourself, for your business, for your family. So today I want to talk about a book that I read ages ago that really has, in a lot of ways, changed my life. And it's really for the simple reason that it makes you question the little squirrel brain that's going on, or as my friend Deb calls it, the itty bitty shitty committee that sometimes runs around in our brain. And that book is Loving What Is with Byron Katie. I actually learned about her through Wayne Dyer. I'm a big proponent of, for your business to grow, you have to grow, and your business will grow to the certain level that you are as an individual. And so I'm not saying that you should take this time to do some deep inner work. Like, I'm not going to say you should do that. I think that that is a good use of time if you feel so compelled to. But the reason I love this book is because she teaches you how to ask 4 questions that truly reframe your perspective about what's happening. So the first question is it true? And she says, sometimes it's immediately obvious that the statement you've written is simply not true. If the answer comes back with a clear no, then move on to question 3. So otherwise, you got to look at what the reality of it is, whose business it is. And then question 2 is, can you absolutely know that it's true? Like, in many cases, things appear to be true and they feel true, right? But your concepts of what is true are actually biases based on what you've learned over life, or your different belief patterns, or just the lens through which you see the world. So, it's a really fun question to ask, because it makes you open up the possibility of, what if the experience I'm going through right now, positive or negative, but mostly in this case negative, isn't fully true? So I'm not going to actually read the whole thing, because it's like several pages of that question. But when you think it's true, you got to ask yourself, well, if I think it's true, what does that mean? So, like, what meaning are you giving to this truth? And then to go back to that, this is actually an exercise I do with my clients sometimes when they're stuck, is what's the worst that could happen? Like, if this is true, what's the worst? Because sometimes that's what we're really afraid of, is the worst case, when in reality that might not be it, because once you get the worst case scenario out of the way, then everything might be gravy. Um, Another question is, what's the should? So, is this about you should or shouldn't do something? And then the proof. This is fun. Where's the proof? And again, this is an interesting thing because of a cognitive bias. So you'll look for proof that supports your theory. But the whole problem with that, well, it's not a problem. The challenge with that is it's an echo chamber, right? You're getting positive reinforcement on what you believe. Whereas these questions are designed to help you get different perspective and maybe look at something from a different angle so that it doesn't paralyze you or cause negative ripple effects. So, the third question is, how do you react when you think that thought? So this is really interesting because it makes you say, when I think this thought, like a thought right now, is this is never going to end. So is that true? No. Maybe, but probably not. And you can look for proof and things like that. But if that's a thought you're having, like, how does that make you feel? And then explore those emotions. Because then you can see the internal cause and effect and kind of stop it in its tracks. And then the part, of question 3A is, can you see a reason to drop that thought? Don't just try to drop it. Just see if you can ask yourself, is it okay for me to let this go? And then if not, can you find one stress-free reason to keep that thought? Interesting, right? And then this is my favorite one. What would you be without that thought? So, to extrapolate that, what would you be? What would your business be? What would society be? What would your relationship be without the thought that's going through your mind right now? And I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know the thoughts that are going through your mind. This is just my invitation to go back to my post, which I will post below, that it's an opportunity to really explore what your thoughts are and don't let them run your life, but rather, as I think it was Horace says, rule your mind or it will rule you. So this is an opportunity to really explore the thoughts and realities that are going through your brain and ask if they're true. So with that, I hear my lunch is done, so I'm going to go, but have a great day and thanks for joining. Bye, guys.